Hi and hello, Eagles fans, and welcome to this presentation of TCC Softball Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Eagles and the Gulf Coast State Commodores. Eagles take Game 1 by a score of 4-0. If you missed it, Brittany Michael threw a gem, 7-inning complete game shutout, allowed just 2 hits, struck out 8, getting the win. Serena Madrid leading things off for game number 2. Sydney Ray on the mound for TCC. Sydney Ray this year 7-5 in 10 starts, 2 complete games and 65 innings of work, and ERA just under 4, about 5 strikeouts per 7. The break-even pitch to Madrid, put on the ground into the diving glove of the third baseman Little. The throw to first is in time for out number 1. Athletic play by both infielders involved. Draven Little making the diving snag. Brittany Michael, who pitched in game 1, having to go to a knee to collect it at first base. Put out goes 5-3 for the first out of the ball game. Now Collier Peden, the right fielder. First pitch is low. Defensive alignment for game 2. For the Eagles, it's Emma Patry in left, Childs in center, Aponte in right. Infield from third to first, it goes Little, Ortiz, Rodriguez, Brittany Michael at first. The catcher is Ellie Campbell for the starting pitcher on the circle, Sydney Ray. A 2-0 pitch, and that one put on the ground into the glove of Sydney Ray. She'll throw to first for out number 2. So a Commodore lineup that's pretty thick with left-handed hitters going up against the lefty starter in Sydney Ray in game 2. Emily Greek now stepping in. First pitch to her is inside. Sydney Ray's last time pitching was at Northwest State. 6 innings, 2 runs on 2 hits. Walked 4 and fanned 7 in a close loss for Tallahassee. That one lined into right, and it's going to get down for a base hit. It'll roll all the way to the wall. 2-out double, standing up for Emily Greek. So in game number 1, it took Gulf Coast State until the 6th inning to get their first hit of the game, and now they have done it in the top of the first here in game number 2. Natalie Kopakova, center fielder, stepping in with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. First pitch drops in for a strike. About half of the appearances for Sydney Ray come as a starter, particularly early in the season, collected a lot of saves. You'd imagine Kaylin James could pitch out of the bullpen if necessary. And who knows, it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world for Brittany Michael to pitch some in game 2 as well. The break-even pitch, wave and a miss for strike 2. Sun really starting its descent just above the left field line. It'll be in our faces for the majority of this game. The 1-2 pitch, and that one, cue shot, fouled on the right side. So we'll do it again at 1-2. With the time change a few weeks ago, the 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock doubleheader became a 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock DH. That one bounced in. Runner stays at second. First game was about 90 minutes right on the nose, an hour and a half. A lot of quick outs early and throughout. Wind was really heavy in game one. It settled down since, but you'll see occasionally some dirt getting kicked up by that wind. Check swing, didn't go around, and that'll bring the count full for Natalie Kopakova. Kopakova 310 this year in 126 at-bats. The payoff pitch. That one put on the ground right to the second baseman, Rodriguez. Short throw to first is good for out number 3. So an extra base hit puts a runner on early for Gulf Coast State, but they can't bring her home. Headed to the Eagles' half of the first inning. You're watching Eagles softball on tcceagles.com and YouTube. Starter for game 2 for the Commodores, Grace Ann Spears. We chatted about her a little bit during game 1 and really what an ace of the staff she is. 18 starts, 15-6 on the year, just shy of 119 innings, an ERA of exactly 176 strikeouts. Her last time out on March 28th, home against Northwest State in a 1-0 game that the Commodores lost. She went 5 1/3. Shutout, allowed 1 hit in that one. Been out of the bullpen as of late. Our last complete game, 7 innings, March 20th against Chipola. Mackenzie Childs will lead things off for the Eagles half of the first. The batting order for Tallahassee in game 2 goes Childs, Ray, Michael, Little, Ortiz, Campbell, and the bottom 3 of Knowles, Rodriguez, and Anishka Aponte. Home plate umpire wipes some dirt off home plate, and Mackenzie Childs will settle in to the left-handed batter's box. First pitch called a strike, low part of the zone. Mackenzie Childs came into the day batting .280, no home runs, 7 driven in. In game number 1, she led off, went 1 for 3 with an RBI single. That one bounced in away from the catcher Roden, gets back to the backstop. Defense behind Spears. Outfield from left to right, Terrell, Kopakova, Peden, and then the infield from third to first, Bolts, Greek, Madrid, Baker, with Roden behind the plate. That one chopped foul, out of play, down the left side for strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one chopped foul right at the plate. We'll do it again at 1 and 2. recent games that Spears has started, I mean, a lot of strikeouts, 6 strikeouts, 8, 7, 9. So when she goes deep, she is punching out a lot of batters. As we mentioned, hasn't gone deep in a game in quite a while. 4 1/3 her last time. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Mackenzie Childs. And that one gets past the third baseman Bolts and into left for a base hit. Leadoff single for Childs gives TCC their first hit, first base runner, first everything of game number 2. That'll be Sydney Ray pitching in game number 2 this season in 52 at-bats, 269 the average, 4 home runs, 7 driven in. So a lot of solo shots for Sydney Ray. At first pitch in for a strike. Big swing and a miss there to bring it to 0-2. That one chopped right at the plate. Roden's going to come out to the circle to talk to her pitcher, Grace Ann Spears. Now comes back behind home plate. Sydney Ray was the DP in game 1, went 1 for 3. Also reached base via an error. The 0-2 from Spears, and that's her first strikeout of the day. Ray couldn't catch up to the fastball on 0-2, and she is the first out at the bottom of the first. Now it will be Brittany Michael. Started a pitcher in game 1, now starting at first base in game 2. A brilliant pitching performance, 260 the average, and a team leading 100 at-bats leading into the day. A home run, 18 knocked in. Went 0 for 2 with a walk in game 1. That one fouled on the left side, down near the Eagle dugout. And that one runs in and hits her. First hit by pitch of the day. Moves Mackenzie Childs over to second, so 2 on with only 1 out. And a pretty good scoring opportunity for the Eagles early on. And who would you rather have at the plate in this situation than Raven Little? 2 home runs hit in game 1. She now leads the team with 9 home runs. Looking to do some more damage here today. Takes that first pitch for a strike. .323 the average, 9 home runs as we said. I believe now 34 runs batted in, which is good pretty far and away for best on the team. Not to mention she's a great defensive player at the hot corner. One of the best players on this team, no doubt about that. But she's down here in the count 0-2 against one of the better pitchers in the Panhandle Conference in Grace Ann Spears. And swings through that one. And now she is a strikeout victim, out number 2. And up comes the shortstop, Che Ortiz. Went 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts in game 1. Swings over that breaking ball for strike 1. On the year, .330 the average, 3 home runs, 12 knocked in. That one put on the ground. Past the shortstop, Greek. One run is going to come across to score. And once again, the Eagles strike first. RBI single for Cheche Ortiz, scores Childs from second. And we'll keep the same situation, which is first and second with 2 outs. This time for Ellie Campbell, making her first appearance of the day. In these doubleheaders this year, the Eagles pretty consistently split the catching duties up. The Commodores will not. Morgan Roden will catch for both games. Ellie Campbell shows bunt, pulls back, takes strike 1. So far this season, Ellie Campbell has appeared in 19 games. 48 at-bats, 271, the average, no home runs, and 6 runs batted in. Swing and a miss there quickly, 0-2, and this is just the first inning of this game, and yes, a couple of hits, a hit by pitch and a run, but Grace Ann Spears is doing a great job of establishing the strike zone, a lot of swing and miss as well. I believe this is probably the third 0-2 count of the inning. That one misses for ball 1. Came into the game with an ERA of exactly 1. Just really trying to paint the picture of the dominant season she's had to this point. The 1-2 to Campbell, and the home plate umpire is going to ring her up. That is the 3rd strikeout of the inning, but TCC does strike first with a run. Mackenzie Childs leads the inning off with a single, and Cheche Ortiz drives her in. We're through 1. Eagles lead 1-0.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me a let's get into trouble grin.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
Cassidy Bolts will get this second inning started at the plate. Commodores got a 2-out double in the first, but stranded her there. First pitch to her bounced in the dirt outside. Bolts went 0 for 3 in game 1. Reached base via an error and part of that no-hit bid for Brittany Michael. That one bounced in the dirt as well. So quickly 2 balls, no strikes. You can hear that wind kicking back up. That was definitely a factor in game 1. That one, cue shot foul down the right side for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Coming into the day, Bolts batting .320, 2 home runs, 36 driven in. Was tested a pretty decent deal at the hot corner in game 1. Swing and a miss and a pitch. Low, can't lay off of that one, and it's 2-2. Sydney Ray looking for her first strikeout of the evening. Brittany Michael, the starter in game 1, had 8 punch-outs. The 2-2. And a wave and a miss. And that, or a foul tip, but into the glove of Ellie Campbell, so it'll be a strikeout regardless. In steps the catcher, Morgan Roden. First pitch to her is high for ball 1. Always interesting to see. I mean, obviously these teams carry more than one catcher on their roster, but TCC usually deploys one in each game. They'll go with Brooke Michael in one and Ellie Campbell in the other, but so many teams we've played will go with one catcher for both games, and catching 14 innings in a day is no easy task. That one low and away. The sun appearing in and out of the clouds affects the sight lines down on the field. That one called a strike on the outside part. It moves the count to 2-1. And that one chopped softly on the ground. The shortstop Ortiz has it. Throw to first. Is it good and in time for out number 2? A really slow ground ball that Ortiz has had to kind of wait to get to her, but able to pick it up quickly and make a nice throw. So 6-3 on the putout to retire Roden. 2 out, spaces empty for the DP. Kristen Head did not appear in game 1. Not a ton of experience for her. Only 9 at-bats on the season, looking for her first hit of the year. Appeared in 4 of the Commodores games this year. This is game number 44 on the season for Gulf Coast State, as opposed to 34, the 34th game for TCC. Eagles had a lighter non-conference portion of their schedule compared to other teams they faced. Swing and a miss evens the count at 1-1. There's some rainouts as well, some postponements, things of that nature. And at this point in the season, when every team has played 30 or 40 odd games, you don't really talk about that kind of experience at this point. You really kind of focus on maybe some of their players are a bit more fresh. That one right past the glove of Cindy Ray, but right to the second baseman, Allison Rodriguez, who's able to get a throw over to first to retire the side, and Christian Head. So Cindy Ray gets a 1-2-3 inning in the second. Looks like she's cruising right now. Eagles with a 1-0 lead headed to the bottom half of the second. Bottom of the Eagles' order in their half of the second. Tristan Knowles, the DP, appearing for the first time today. 17 games she's appeared in, 42 total at-bats, 190 the average. She's got a home run, 3 batted in. One of only 4 players on this Eagles roster currently batting under that Mendoza line. Spears starts her off 1-0. 6 batters faced her in the first inning. A bit uncharacteristic of her dominant season. But as we said before, it's been a while since she's gone too deep into a ball game. So maybe this is part of a mid-season slump. Eagles certainly would like to continue that trend. The break-even pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. Pitch outside, evens it back out at 2-2. That one ripped foul. Almost got a piece of the Eagle on deck, Allison Rodriguez. She had to kind of skip out of the way of that one. Yeah, I've got that netting that extends out in front of that Eagle dugout but doesn't cover the sides. If you hit it just right, it could find the crevice. That one almost did. Here's another 2-2. And that one launched high in the air. I think it's going to stay in play. The center fielder, Kopakova, coming out in right center and makes the catch to retire Tristan Knowles for out number 1. A-Rod getting our first at-bat of game 2. Allison Rodriguez came into today batting .217. Only 2 runs knocked in on the season, looking for her first home run. And that one chopped on the ground. The second baseman, Madrid, has it. Throw to first in time for out number 2. That one hit off the ground right in front of home plate. So kind of one of those choppers in the infield. 2 outs, bases empty for Anishka Ponte to round out first time through the order. First pitch to Aponte is called for strike 1. Aponte only got 2 at-bats in the first game, went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. On the season, .278, 2 home runs, 8 knocked in. Wave and a miss at a pitch high in the zone. Quickly moves to 0-2. Bottom of the order due up in the Commodores' half of the 3rd. And that one is going to hit Aponte, second hit batter of the game for Grace Ann Spears in as many innings. And that gives the Eagles a 2-out base runner. Back to the top of the order we go for Mackenzie Childs. Led the game off with a single. Was driven home on an RBI single from Cheche Ortiz. And that one will be foul. That one chopped on the ground. The pitcher, Spears, has it, goes to first for the out. So Spears hits a batter, but nothing else going as we have a 1-0 score through 2.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me and let's get into trouble, grin.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
We welcome you back to the TCC softball grounds on the west side of Tallahassee. William Haynes here bringing you the action for this doubleheader today. Only two more home softball doubleheaders after today. So it seems like conference play just started not too long ago, but we're already kind of bringing the season to a close. Not quite yet, but it's in the not so far distance. Baker, Terrell, before lineup turns back over to Madrid here in the top of the third. Baker takes that one outside in game one. She batted in the 9-hole and went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Moves up a spot in the order for game two. Takes that one high. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Eagles going with their usual home white jerseys with Tallahassee across the front. Eagles on the nameplate in the back. Blue pants with yellow socks and yellow belt. Visiting Commodores going with the all navies with the interlocking GC logo on the front. Two balls and 1 strike. The count to Baker. Lefty on lefty. And that miss will take it to 3-1. Sydney Ray looking to avoid issuing her first walk of the game. After the Eagles win in game one, both teams now sit at 2-7 in Panhandle play. Eagles snap a 7-game losing skid as Baker went around for strike 2, bringing the count full. And this is really an important doubleheader to have some success, and you got the win in game one. And now a chance with a small lead early in game two, kind of the same script as game one to hopefully keep things moving in the right direction. That one fouled off the end of the bat. Back behind the plate. You look at the standings amid the top, kind of going back and forth. Northwest State at 6-2 in conference play. Chipola at 7-3. You've got Pensacola State at 4-2. And as I said, these two teams on the field at 2-7. That one in strike 3 called. A call on the border, and the call goes the Eagles' way on that one. First out of the third inning. You saw Baker kind of take that move over to first base like she was going to walk, and on that full count pitch, home plate umpire says, no, you're headed back to the dugout. 1 out, bases empty for Jabby Terrell. She goes from 2nd in the order to 9th in the order. She went 0 for 2 with a walk in game one. Possibly a lefty on lefty matchup thing with Sydney Ray on the circle for game two. That bunt goes foul. Road ahead for TCC after this. They'll have the rest of the week off. They'll be in Pensacola for a doubleheader against the Pirates on Tuesday, and then they'll have a road set with Chipola that Saturday. Big swing and a miss there for strike 2. Did she go around? No, says the field umpire. They appeal down. The 1-2 pitch low off the glove of Cindy Ray. The shortstop Ortiz has it, brings Brittany Michael off the bag, and the runner, Terrell, is going to go to second. Would have been a close play either way. We'll call it an error on the throw from J.J. Ortiz. Michael could have probably had it if she came off the bag earlier, but still trying to finish the play with an out. It gets a runner all the way over to second base, and that one sneaks through, does hit the base runner, and so she's going to be called out. So Eagles catch a break on that one. So we'll go 2-base E6 for Terrell to reach, and she's called out on the bases as she's hit by what will go down as a single for Serena Madrid. So an interesting sequence of events. 2 outs, runner at first is the result. Swing and a miss for Collier Peden to begin her at bat. She grounded to the pitcher rather in her first AB. So tying runner is on base but no longer in scoring position. 1-0 game. Top of third. The 0-1. And that one put on the ground into the glove of Cindy Ray again. So another 1-3 put out for Collier Peden, and that will end what was a pretty interesting inning. You're watching Eagle Softball on TCCEagles.com. Bottom of the third here. Top of the order due up for TCC, Sydney Ray, Brittany Michael, Raven Little. Sydney Ray, to start things off, she's 0 for 1, victim of a strikeout from Grace Ann Spears her first time. That one outside for ball 1 if you're just joining us. Eagles take game 1 by a score of 4-0. Brittany Michael goes the distance with a complete game shutout, 8 strikeouts in the process, and what was a gem for her. Took a no-hitter bid into the 6th inning. Raven Little with a couple of home runs in that game as well. She now leads the team with 9 of those. And then here in game 2, the Eagles currently with a 1-0 lead. They strike first in the bottom of the first. They had a leadoff single, moved her over with a hit by pitch, and drove her in with a single from Cheche Ortiz. Sydney Ray has gone 3 scoreless as well, who is at the plate now. And she has a 3-ball, no-strike count to her. Breaking ball drops in for a strike, taken all the way on 3-0, especially a breaking ball like that. Same pitch, really same result. And now Sydney Ray looking at a full count without taking the bat off the shoulder. The 3-2 from Spears. Low, ball 4, and a leadoff walk for the pitcher. Reach base for the first time today. That is also the first walk issued by Grace Ann Spears. She's hit 2 batters with pitches. So essentially 3 free passes issued, but the first base on balls. And a leadoff base runner for Brittany Michael, who was hit by a pitch herself in her only time. Shows bunt. Not able to make contact with it. Didn't pull back in time, so it'll be strike 1. Shows bunt again. That pitch too high. Pulled the bat back in time for that one, and now count level at 1-1. Well, they keep the play on. They do, in another unsuccessful attempt. So 2 failed attempts with the bunt to make contact, and now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Most likely wipes the play off now. And the 1-2. Pops softly up in the air, but foul. The catcher rode and made a diving attempt at it, but it was just a little bit out of her reach. So Brittany Michael fortunate to stay alive after that one. One ball, 2 strikes remains the count. And here it is. That one high in the air. It'll stay in the infield into the glove of the shortstop Greek for out number 1. Unproductive out there. 1 on, 1 out now for Raven Little. Struck out her only time against Spears, but as we mentioned, a 2 home run game in the first contest. Swings over that one for strike 1. Another cut and miss, and now quickly 0-2. Probably said it before, but it seems like Grace Ann Spears lives in that kind of 0-2 count. Got to piece that one to stay alive. 1-2 offering. Got a piece of that one again. So I think to the Eagles' credit, you've got a pitcher on the circle in Grace Ann Spears that hasn't gone very deep into a game in her last 4 starts, essentially. And you get these kind of foul balls, even if you're not getting a lot of base runners, making her work deep into counts and innings and maybe lead to an early exit. That one is hit high and well, but gets out of play. Another 1-2. And that one is going to get out of play. Thuds up the top of the Eagles' dugout. Eagles player delivers some softballs to the home plate umpire. We'll resume play. The at-bat that keeps on giving here on 1-2. That one put on the ground, stays fair down the third base side. Long throw to first, just in time to put away Raven Little for out number 2. Sydney Ray advances to second base in the process. So it'll go down as a productive out. Chichi Ortiz drove in a run in her first time, and she's got a chance to do it again with Sydney Ray standing at second base and 2 outs. Swings and misses as that first pitch. I'm not sure I've seen this before. So Ellie Campbell's on deck, and she's got some of her catcher gear on. So if she does end up coming to the plate, she'll take it off. But in case she's got to come back to the field, she's ready to roll. That one fouled back to the screen. I would love to see one of these times the catcher just leave it on for an at-bat. That would be a sight to see. And stop me if you've heard this before. Another 0-2 count by Grace Ann Spears to Ortiz, and she is rung up, strike 3. She goes down looking. Eagles get a leadoff walk, bring her over to second base, but can't bring her home. Through 3 full, Tallahassee leads 1-0.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me and let's get into trouble, grand.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
Heart of the order due up for the Commodores as we begin the 4th. Emily Greek is 1 for 1 with a double. That breaking ball drops in for strike 1. Sydney Ray back out for another inning of work. One of the few players you'll see that goes without the visor. It's an interesting look. And that soft moving curveball is hit right to the pitcher Ray for out number 1. So a rare L1. I don't know what it is, but when you're pitching here in Tallahassee, you got to be ready for some comebackers. It seems like we're always due for 3 or 4 of those a game. As that first pitch to Natalie Kopakova is in for strike 1. She is 0 for 1 with a ground out to second base. I actually did make a substitution. It'll be the pitcher from game 1, Savannah Bradford, who got the loss. I should have known when I saw the double zeros come to the plate. She did not bat in game 1. She was the flex position as the pitcher. 32 at-bats this year, a 156 average. She's listed as a pitcher and third baseman. So potentially some defensive maneuvering, because I can't imagine that this is a one-time pinch hit. We'll keep our eyes on that and let you know what we see when we see it. The break even on 1-1, tapped back to the screen. The 1-2 to Bradford outside. Sun continuing its descent, probably another 2 innings or so before it'll settle back behind the trees and out of our eyes. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Punch out number 3 on the day for Sydney Ray. 2 outs, bases empty here for Cassidy Bolts. Bolts 0 for 1, a strikeout victim, one of those 3. Middle of the order due up in the bottom half of this 4th for Tallahassee. First pitch to Bolts. Tap foul. Breaking ball misses just high. We saw Emily Greek take a hack at that pitch at the beginning of this inning and lined it right to Sydney Ray. That one knocked in the air. Will stay in the infield, and Raven Little doesn't have to move much at all to make the grab for out number 3 to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down go the Commodores in the top half of the 4th. Middle of the order due up for TCC when we return. Ellie Campbell, the bat here to start bottom of the 4th inning. She's 0 for 1, struck out looking. Second time, or one of 2 times, Grace Ann Spears has sent an Eagle batter down on strikes without a swing. That one chopped on the ground. The shortstop Greek has it. Throw to first. Nearly brought the first baseman Baker off the bag, but she was able to make the extension and retire Campbell for out number 1. 6-3 goes the put out. Tristan Knowles now will bat. 0 for 1 with a flat to center. Knowles tried to check the swing there, but couldn't pull back in time and made enough contact with it to roll it foul and down near the Eagle bullpen, or dugout, excuse me. Count even at a ball and a strike. Eagles are trying to extend their 1-0 lead. They've stranded 4 total base runners in this game. They left 3 in the entirety of game 1. And that one hit well but foul. Down the left side. It's been a busy area today. And Knowles will go down swinging. Quick out number 2 in this inning. Strikeout number 5 of the evening for Spears. 2 out, spaces empty for Allison Rodriguez. Spears has retired 5 in a row. First pitch is called for strike 1. That one popped in the air. Center fielder comes over to get it. And she makes the grab for out number 3. Eagles go 3 up, 3 down in the 4th. We're stuck at a 1-0 score.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me a let's get into trouble grin.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
Sydney Ray back out for inning number 5, continuing her shutout performance to this point. Middle of the order for the Commodores. Morgan Roden, the catcher, will bat here. Grounder to short, her only time. That one misses low for ball 1. Could not tell for certain, but it looked like they put Kopakova back out in center, so it could have been a one-time pinch hit situation. I'm kind of lost as to what the thought of was. I mean, the Savannah Bradford, the player they pinch hit with, was hitting about 150 and resulted in a swinging strikeout. That one runs in to Roden, but they get the strike call. The 1-2 from Ray, and that one lifted foul down the left side. We'll do it again. High and outside, that one misses. Count even at 2-2. If you're Tallahassee, you've got a feeling that you're going to need more than a run to win this game, but at the same time, through about 11 innings, or 10 innings, no, 11, you've held Gulf Coast State off the board. And that one into the glove of the leaping Allison Rodriguez for out number 1. Nice play. It looked like it was one of those kind of bloop singles that would settle in between the second baseman and the right fielder, but a nice effort to climb the ladder and get that one into the glove. Kirsten Head, the DP, she's 0 for 1. That one pushed back to the screen for strike 1. And there it is again. Didn't have to leap that time, but hit pretty much to the same spot. Not too often you'll get back-to-back L4s in your scorebook, but we did right there. Sydney Ray has now retired 6 Commodore batters in a row. That'll leave it 2 out, spaces empty for Jalen Baker. That one is strike 1. That one shot foul out of play. If you're in need of a softball, if you camp out along that left side out of play, it's a pretty good chance you're going to get one. Or 5. The 0-2. Assist to our broadcast engineer, Noah Hafner, for helping me execute that joke. That 1-2 misses low. While we're at it, shout out to the great Brett Rutherford doing PA for these 2 games. Fantastic job as always. Really a Swiss Army knife up here in the press box. And to Jalen Baker, it'll be a 2-2. That one pops straight up and into the glove of the pitcher, Sydney Ray. 1-2-3 go down the Commodores once again. We're headed now towards the late stages. Bottom of the 5th, 1-0 score. Eagles lead. Bottom of the fifth, and we did get some clarification on that substitution that was made. I got him coming out of the dugout, so I didn't have to, you can't see those numbers without binoculars from my vantage point, but we were able to figure out that Collier Peden moved from right over to center, and the previous center fielder, Kopakova, comes out of the game and is replaced by Savannah Bradford, who moves to right. So now it's Terrell who is still in left. It is Peden who moves to center, and Savannah Bradford now in right field. That bunt laid down by Aponte. Difficult play, but they get the out. That one was close. Nice play by the third baseman Bolts to charge in. That bunt didn't make it very far at all down that third base line. And with the speedy Aponte running to first, I figured that would have been an infield hit, but they do get the out by maybe a hair. Putout goes 5-3. Seventh Eagle in a row retired by Grace Ann Spears, who's back out for a fifth inning of work. If she goes 5, this will be her longest start since March 20th. She had a few bullpen appearances where she would go long. So now I think maybe Gulf Coast State at this point in the season reverting back to their strategy from earlier in the year. 0-1 the count to Mackenzie Childs as the Eagles are going through their order a third time through. Quickly now 0-2. 1-2, pardon me. Misses low and evens it out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So both offenses are in a standstill right now. 7 Commodores have been retired in a row. Now 7 Eagles down in a row. That one put on the ground right into the glove of Spears. Throw to first in time to retire Childs, and that will be out number 2. 2 out spaces empty for Sydney Ray, 0-for-1 with a walk. Four hits combined in this game. There were 6 total hits in game 1. So not a whole ton of offense to be seen. There were 2 home runs by Raven Little in the first game. But outside of that, I mean, really hard to come by. That one sent back to the screen along the backstop. 4 strike 1. In the Commodores' top of the 6th, Terrell will bat for a second time before the order turns back over to the top a third time through. So that is something to keep an eye on as both of these starters continuing the game. And that might be the first time I've seen a foul ball right off that pole. You can hear the ding off of it. The 0-2 to Ray. And that one right to the pitcher. No, it's out of her glove. Can't she get the play in time? She cannot. So that one cost her. I'll put it down as a base hit, though. 2-out single for Sydney Ray brings Brittany Michael to the plate. Oh for 1 was hit by a pitch. Spears hit 2 batters in the first 2 innings, but then has really kind of settled down since then. Only 1 walk as well, so outside of a couple of, missed pitches and a walk, fairly good with the control. That one called a strike at the bottom of the zone to even it out at 1-1. Big cut and a miss. Move it to 1-2. And by the way, that hit for Ray ended a streak of 8 retired Eagles consecutively. And that one is right to the pitcher, and she slams it down on the circle and will depart from the field of play, knowing she's only allowed 1 run through 5 innings. Eagles, though, with 6 outs left to get to secure the doubleheader sweep.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me a let's get into trouble grin.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
In steps Jabby Terrell for the second time today. Reach base on a 2-bag error against Cheche Ortiz. Tries to lay down a bunt but can't make contact, but a strike either way. That one fouled quickly out of play, and quickly 0-2. And a foul ball down the left side once again. So Terrell is called out. On an 0-2 count, they called a strike against her for going outside of the box. We saw that in the Florida State game last night, as that one is going to get down for a hit for Serena Madrid. And that puts the tying run on base. First Commodore since the 3rd inning to reach base. 1-out single. And now to be Collier Peden 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts to the pitcher. Quickly 0-1 to her, and as we were saying, you have a feeling you're going to need more than 1 run to win a game like this, but if you're not, I mean, you're going to have to sweat it out, both pitching, defensively. All it takes is a single to put a lot of pressure on you. Peden has to kind of back out of the way of that one, even as the count had a ball and a strike. goes around. Now 1-2. Top of the order has been pulling most of the weight for Gulf Coast State, but not necessarily the case for Collier Pete. And the leadoff hitter, Madrid, has 2 singles. The 3-hitter, Greek, has a double. As that one put on the ground, and Alison Rodriguez can't get to it. That one sneaks through for a hit. And now all of a sudden, Commodores with the tying run at second to go ahead and run at first. And you talk about a pressure situation. This is one right here. Sydney Ray calls the infield in. And this is only the second time between these 2 games combined that Gulf Coast State has stringed together consecutive hits, which is pretty crazy to think about. A lot of noise coming out of that Commodore dugout, and there will be a pitching change. While the new Eagle pitcher gets warmed up, we'll take a break and tell you about the new arm when we come back. So we mentioned that there could be a possibility, and it ends up being reality, that the new pitcher for the Eagles is one Brittany Michael. Complete game shutout victory in game 1 of this doubleheader here to potentially close out game number 2. That first pitch is high. Emily Greek able to pull back. She's 1 for 2 with a double. Only extra base hit of the day between both games combined for Gulf Coast State. Kaylin James comes in to play first base for TCC. That one just a bit off the plate. It looks to my eye that everything else has stayed the same defensively. I believe Sydney Ray is done for the game. As far as hitting is concerned, I believe Kaylin James will take her spot in the batting order. 2 balls and a strike. The count to Emily Greek. And ripped foul down the third base side. That one probably would have given Gulf Coast the lead had it stayed fair. So in a game with a lot of foul balls, there was no better sight to see one than just now. It'll be a 2-2. Fouled to stay alive. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reached out to get it right to the pitcher. They're going to go for the lead runner, and they got it. Really heads up play defensively to get the out at third by the pitcher, Brittany Michael. Fielder's choice for Emily Greek. Madrid out at third. Abby Johnson pinch hitting here. That one called a strike. Abby Johnson in 36 at-bats, batting .222. She's got 2 home runs and 6 runs driven in. The 0-1 from Michael, and that one shot out of play, foul down the right side. And now, Brittany Michael is 1 strike away from getting out of this 6th inning and keeping the shutout intact. Ray got the first out of the inning and then gave up back-to-back singles. She comes out of the game, gives way to the Game 1 starter. The 0-2 pitch, and that one high in the air, and that one will go foul. Another 0-2. And a swing and a miss. TCC gets the big out there. The Commodore strand not only the tying run, but the go-ahead run as well. Huge strikeout by Brittany Michael as she continues her success today. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, the Eagles desperately needing some insurance runs.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me and let's get into trouble, grin.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
Grace Ann Spear back out for Gulf Coast State. The bottom half of the 6th inning, Raven Little, Ortiz, and Ellie Campbell, the 3 Eagles batters to come to the plate to try and add to this 1-0 lead. That one runs inside. Count even at 1-1. Similar situation to Game 1. Tallahassee had a 2-0 lead, and then in the bottom of the 6th hit a 2-run homer from Eagle at the plate in Raven Little. That one ringing off the fencing in front of, I guess, behind the backstop. The 1-2 to Little. That one fouled to stay alive. Two balls, two strikes, as the count is even once again. Little in this game too, 0 for 2. And that one into play. The third baseman Bolts has it. Throw to first in time for out number 1. She's been tested quite a bit over there. Put out goes 5-3. And that will bring up the shortstop, Che Ortiz, 1 for 2 with a RBI single. That one drops in for a strike to begin the at-bat. Sun behind the trees, but the light's not quite taking effect yet on the field. That one right back towards us, but off the screen. Everyone involved hoping we only have one more half inning of play. And Ortiz out on strikes as she goes down looking for the second time today, in fact. 2 outs, bases empty now for Ellie Campbell, who's 0 for 2. Has caught the entirety of this game as the Eagles splitting up the catching duties for these doubleheader games. First pitch to her is called a strike, so say what you will about the Gulf Coast offense. Still yet to generate a run in 13 innings of play, but this pitcher in Grayson Spears is one heck of an ace they have. She's been all over the strike zone today. Only 1 walk. Now with 6 strikeouts. That one glove tying away. Barring any pinch hits, which we did see in game 1, it will be Cassidy Bolts, Morgan Roden, and Kristen Head. The final chance for the Commodores to score a run today. Big wave and a miss for strike 2. And a wave and a miss again for the punch out. Number 7 of the day for Spears, and will likely be her last inning of work today. Gulf Coast State has 3 more outs to work with. They are down 1 run. Brittany Michael back on the circle to try and close this one out. You don't see this too often. We have seen it here on the softball grounds already this season. It was Sydney Ray who started a game and I think might have went the distance and then got the save in game number 2. So it's not too often they use a pitcher in both games, but there are occasions where it becomes necessary, and especially when you have a pitcher who is going as well as Brittany Michael is right now in a 1-0 game where you need nothing short of perfection. This is the pitcher you turn to. As that one is launched in the air, the right fielder Aponte coming over and makes the snatch just foul of the right field line for out number 1. Quickly one away for Morgan Roden, the catcher, 0 for 2 in game number 2. She is 1 for 5 on the day as a whole. First pitch to her of this at-bat is a breaking ball, misses high. The 1-0 pitch. That one right back to the screen. Just a reminder that it is Kaylin James taking over at first base. She did play there in game 1 as well. It was Brittany Michael who had played most of this game too at first base. When she came in to pitch, obviously that position opened up. So Sydney Ray comes out and Kaylin James comes in. A big break-even pitch on 1-1. And swung on and missed for strike 2. The 1-2 to Roden, and that one is going to get down into right for a base hit. Nice job by Aponte to move over to keep it just a single. But either way, the tying run is standing at first base. So they're going to play this straight up, at least for now, as Kristen Head stays in the game as DP. She's 0 for 2. Double play possibility here. First one to Head, and that one right back towards us again. That one runs in and hits her. So Head will take her base. Roden, in the process, moves over to second. So the same situation we had in the 6th where the tying run is at second, the go-ahead run is at first. Infield comes in to have a discussion about how they are going to attack Jalen Baker. Baker in this game number 2, 0 for 2. She is 0 for 5 on the day with 4 strikeouts. So only 1 out, but you got to like, as far as the stats today, that this is a decent opportunity to grab out number 2 at the very least. That one missing high and just a bit outside. No double plays by either team in either game. Don't see that too often. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one high, but it gloved nicely by Ellie Campbell to keep it in front, or otherwise both base runners might have advanced. And what would have been somewhat of a doomsday scenario. Michael needing a strike on 2-0. And she won't get it. This is a tough spot right here at 3-0 because although Baker today's 0 for 5, you don't want to give her anything to hit. But at the same time, a walk would load the bases. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Showed bunt but pulled back, and you get that get me over strike to continue the AB. I got to think in a 3-ball count, Baker is not going to be too willing to swing at much of anything. She takes that one, and there's another strike called. So all of a sudden, Brittany Michael has worked herself back into what is now a full count. Here is the payoff pitch. And outside, ball 4. Baker takes her base. Roden over to third, head to second. And now we are really in some trouble here with the bases full of Commodores. Jabby Terrell 0 for 2 today. Struck out her last time. That one fouled out of play on the left side. So with 1 out, a sacrifice fly would tie the game. A base hit would give you the lead with 2 runners in scoring position. And you've got a runner at first as well, but worth mentioning, the double play still a possibility. Corners of the infield creep in. 0-1, the count to Terrell. Here's the pitch. And that one missing by just a bit. And evens the count at 1-1. The break-even pitch. That one high in the air. Left fielder Emmett Patry makes a diving grab. And that is good for out number 2. Runners will not advance. And now Gulf Coast State is down to their final out. Lineup goes back to the top, and Serena Madrid, she is 2 for 3 today in game 2. Went 1 for 3 in game 1. The first pitch to her. And that one put on the ground. The third baseman, Raven Little, has it. Goes to first, and they got the out. The ball game is over. And what is probably one of the most difficult things to do, Tallahassee gets a doubleheader sweep in Panhandle play. They came into today with a 7-game losing streak. They leave the day with 2 games back in the win column. They are now 3-7 in Panhandle Conference play. They take their spot now in 4th place definitively in Panhandle Conference standings. They advance to 21-13 overall in the season. The visiting Gulf Coast State Commodores dropped to 31-13 overall. They are now 2-8 in conference play. Your winning pitcher, Sydney Ray, 5 1/3, 3 runs shut out, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and Brittany Michael, and what was one heck of a save to finish off this game. She picks up a strikeout. She gets an inning and 2/3 to finish out the ball game after going the distance in game 1. 1 hit allowed. She also hit a batter as well. And as I mentioned, 14 innings in a day against a Panhandle opponent where you do not allow a single run. And in a 1-0 final score, that is every bit what it was going to take. So the final lines for both teams, Gulf Coast State, no runs on 5 hits, no errors. They leave a total, after that bases loaded situation in the 7th, they leave a total of 7 base runners throughout game number 2. And for Tallahassee, 1 run on 3 hits. They committed an error and left 5 on base. For Brittany Michael, that was her 3rd save of the year. That leads the team. And for Sydney Ray, that win puts her at 8-5 on the season. Grace Ann Spears for Gulf Coast State pitched well, but gets the loss. 6 innings, 1 run on 3 hits, 1 walk, struck out 7. She hit 2 batters as well. What a beautiful day for softball here at the softball grounds on the west side of Tallahassee. I have been William Haynes bringing you all the action. Noah Hapner, my broadcast engineer. We look ahead for this softball season. The next time they will be in action here in Tallahassee where you can watch us, it will be April 12th. That's a Tuesday doubleheader against Northwest Florida State, and which will be huge for the standings. Our next broadcast overall will be on the baseball diamond. That will be this Saturday, April 2nd, a doubleheader against the Northwest Florida State College Raiders as well. Again, this has been William Haynes, Noah Hapner, my broadcast engineer. You have been watching this presentation of TCC Softball.